born in China. Um, I think when I first started to make drawings, I was when I was 3 or 2 years old, and since then I started to feel like that should be part of my life, that something I really enjoy to do. So when I was growing up, I've been keeping doing that, so become my habit. And I did study different mediums, the traditional Chinese medium and the Western medium, and I also studied sculpture in Fine Art Institute. So, but still now I'm looking for a way to express myself more in an more interesting way. And, I'm not sure if I'm one of the great street artists, as you mentioned, but I do feel I did a lot of work in the past 7 years, and I feel street art is more become like a trend or like a movement for people to talk about. But for me, I feel I never want to label myself as a street artist, because for me, street is just a location. It's a place for me to put out my work, to express myself. When people ask me, how do you feel about being a street artist? I always say, oh, what if I paint at home? So where you call me home artist. So for me, street may be more like a studio, let's say. I would like to try different medium or different way to express myself. But for now, I spend a lot of time in the public space because there's so many people there, so you can have more interaction and more audience to see what you want to express. It's really interesting because also on the street, there's so many uncertainty you have to face to. You don't know if you can finish the work because there's so many things happen that out of your mind, you don't know. So it's quite an interesting way to work at this time. Also for me, I feel street means space. So we have now two streets, let's say public space instead of street. Like one public space is the physical public space out there, another one is the internet. So now it's really interesting to see how these two spaces can carry your work. That's what I'm interested in also. Like when people walk around, they can take photos when they see the work in the physical street, but somehow they post on their social media. There's another street, there's another public space. So these two work together create a new phenomena of people so-called street art, I think. But for me, I just, yeah, it's somewhere I spend a lot of time. Both. Yeah, so there's a process involved of you paint in the public space, like who is passed by, you never know, and what is going to happen, you never know. And after you finish the work, you have to really let it go because you may not see it again after you spend so much energy and everything, time on this giant building, then you may never see them. Actually, most of my work, I never see them again. So it's a good way of practice, I guess, to how to say, to let it go, I guess. But even though I still feel sometimes, how to say, it's not that easy. I found that Rinpoche is really advanced to get to know new information, new art form, and new generation, what they're thinking and what they're doing. So I remember Rinpoche said that before he know me, he already know what is public art, what is the mural, street art, and this new art form out there. So I guess that's more interesting for Rinpoche to let artists who work in a public space to transform it, like work in the book, because I think a book is also one kind of a street. When we flip the it's like we walk in the street, we see different informations, but it's in this way, the information clicking through the book. So I think Rinpoche, I don't know why he asked me, I don't know, because Rinpoche has so many amazing friends, students, amazing artists that can make better work than me. But maybe because yeah, I don't know why that happened, but Rinpoche is very kind, so he gave me a lot of space to let me just do whatever I think. For me, I feel it's more like a learning process to learn the teachings, and it's really inspiring. The teaching, yeah, really inspired by it. And I don't know if I did a really good job, but for me, personally, I feel it's more like break my my patterns, because I have a specific style actually out there. But when I come to create work for this book, for this sutra, I feel like I shouldn't keep that quality with me, because that's a limit I have for myself. I want people to recognize me, or like, so I think maybe Rinpoche is kind like me to learn that, like to, how do you say, break the boundary maybe. So I try use different way of drawing, painting, so somehow it looks kind of random, and also doesn't look like a one person's work. So I think that's quite what I really feel interesting about, like what I have done. Yeah, but I hope the work it's not distracting for the readers to receive the teaching. That's my one of the hope I have. Yeah, I feel like the teaching, the information I got from the teaching is like, how to say, it's really take out the rug, like Rinpoche always say, like break your reference. So that's why I try to follow that teaching, and haven't heard many people tell me what, but somehow, at least, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I haven't heard many comment about it, but I hope people enjoying it. Yeah. Yeah, I still want to try more different things, different kind of medium, different kind of way of doing my art. Also, I hope I really can receive more teaching from Rinpoche, which is inspiring as a person, as an artist, as a student. This is just so precious, and I really appreciate the opportunity that I can learn from this project, and I hope I can learn more from it. Yeah, that's what I really hope I can do in the future. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.